What is going on, kid family? Welcome back to the channel. On today's video we got two mufflers right here and they both need work. As you can see, this is the muffler we were running on our vehicle. It's a stock muffler. Both of these are stock mufflers. This one I actually cut back in the day to put a turbo whistler on there, which was a total fail, total rice burn move. And yeah, it's off the vehicle clearly. This needs to get welded back onto that. And then this is a muffler my boy a Puma gave me, and it actually rusted through the other day at the clamp and it fell off on me. So I always thought there was a lifetime warranty on factory mufflers. It does say something about a limited lifetime warranty on the muffler in the owner's manual, but going through countless phone calls and conversations with Honda corporate and whatnot, we finally came to a conclusion there is not a warranty on the OEM muffler that comes with the car. There is a warranty if you buy a replacement from Honda. There is a lifetime warranty on that replacement part, which is stupid. The warranty should just come with the OEM muffler as well. I don't see the big deal. But anyway, I've ran SI mufflers on our 8th gen Civic and they sounded great. I can't seem to find one locally for a good price. So what we're gonna do in this video, actually, I'm gonna cut the internal of the muffler. We're gonna see what's inside. I'm excited to see that. We bought some angle grinders in Harbor Freights. We got a 10-pack of cutoff wheels as well. There was a sale on this for about $11 with a coupon red tag sale, just like that buffer we just bought. It was on a red tag sale, so we picked these up and we needed it, guys. And I bought two because every time I need an angle grinder, I'm borrowing it from Bullet's garage, and you know I'm tired of borrowing things from him, so we picked those up so we can have it on hand. So again, like I said, let's cut this puppy open, let's see what's inside. And the plan is, once we're inside, maybe we can adjust the internals of this muffler to make it more free flowing, and we can not only we can add some horsepower, we can increase the note of this muffler, and then it'll be a little bit louder, hopefully to the same spec as a SI muffler. We're also gonna see what we can do here. We're probably gonna have to cut this off, and maybe we can just cut off this flange from this and use it right here. We'll have to figure it out, but let's get inside this muffler. Alright guys, I'm going to be using the welding helmet with the grind mode on. As you guys can see, there's a welding mode and a grind mode. Curious to see how that's going to turn out. I installed the disc, everything looks good, pretty small and nice. I talked with Barba's Life. He actually uses the same grinder and it said it gave him a lot of years of service, so that's why I picked up these grinders, which again, the cheapest thing you can get, but as long as it can get the job done, I'll be really happy with it. So I'm gonna go ahead and start grinding this open. Hopefully it won't give us too much issues. isn't this a little complicated? I'm actually surprised that this muffler doesn't have the fiberglass that a lot of these mufflers are packed with, and I'll play you a clip of what I'm talking about right now.
This and into this material, which is fiberglass, long strand. Obviously, you can see long strand fiberglass. Now the sound will enter that fiberglass, will get deadened somewhat before it comes out the exhaust. So
now they have all this hair inside to muffle out the sound, but essentially air is coming in from this pipe. I'll show you guys this in the sun. Alright, so again, just to sum it up, air comes in, and let's call these chambers 1, 2, and 3. So the air comes in, mainly comes out through the third chamber, and then the air has to go through these chambers, like I said, 2 little holes here, few holes here, back into the first chamber, and from the first chamber it goes out back through the pipe. So it's like a S turn here. What I'm thinking about doing is just cutting right here. So the air's gonna come in, get dumped into the second chamber. We're gonna cut this off here, and then also cut the exit pipe right here. So everything is really happening through the second chamber. I think it's a happy medium between sound and performance, but mainly we're looking for performance, and I think that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna chop both things out here. They're still gonna travel through some of the chambers. There's still gonna be room there for flow, but I think we're gonna limit the amount of restriction going through. Again, these 2 little holes right here are restricting a lot of gas flow. So let's go ahead, cut this, and go from there. Gotta take the sawzall out, I believe. I also do just want to mention, most people aren't going to be doing this to this extent. They're just going to replace a muffler or not, or whatnot. So this is not very common, guys. Alright guys, we got the pieces removed. As you can see, the second chamber is nice and open. If you actually were a talented person, unlike me, you can probably make a pipe, S-pipe joining this to this, and actually then at that point it's just a straight pipe and a muffler delete, but you still got the stock muffler to keep it super stealth. And you can do a lot of combinations like this that nobody really considers doing. So I'm pretty happy with this setup right here. Essentially the air is coming out from here. Majority of the air is going to be trapped in this chamber and it's just going to come right out. So we're really skipping chamber 3, going back to chamber 1 and all that. So I think at this point I'm going to start patching this up. Let's get welding and we'll go from there. Alright gents, we got the titanium Flux 125 flux core welder from Harbor Freights. We got it hooked up, we got the ground clamp on it. So again, what I wanted to show you, there's 2 pieces to this. The first piece right here, and then the second piece. I'm just gonna try to tack this on just in a few spots and then go with the second piece. This is gonna be hard. There's huge gaps in here and I'm really worried. Alright guys, it's been about a week since the last clip you just watched. This is as far as we got welding. Very bad welds, and this took me an hour. It's just burning through the thin sheet metal here, and we're trying to do some tricks here, ghetto of course, to make this work, but we ran out of welding wire, so we ended up picking up new flux core wire, 0.030 gauge. We had an option. We can either run a 0.35 or a 0.30 on the titanium Flux 125 from Harbor Freight. We decided to go with, again, the thinner wire, because from my understanding, the thinner the wire, the better it's going to weld on thin sheet metal. There's also a problem though. A lot of people recommend a 0.23 or 0.25 wire for thin sheet metal. Unfortunately, the thinnest wire available for flux core is right here, a 0.30. So it's gonna make things a lot harder to weld. And I gotta tell you guys, you need some tips and tricks to lay any kind of metal down without causing this thing to burn. And you can see I accumulated a lot of metal right over here, and I'm just trying to work my way around the whole darn thing. The trick is, have a lot of stick out on your gun. The longer the stick out, the cooler the weld will be, the less likely it is to just burn straight through. So right now we're going to take the Yes Welder Flux Core wire. Great reviews here, cheaper than the Vulcan online, cheaper than the one in Harbor Freight. Pretty good darn reviews on this one as well. So we're gonna pop it in there, we're gonna feed it through the lines here, and hopefully we can start welding. And this thing welds a little bit better than the factory wire they came with, the titanium, so we can get better results. So let's get started. So I'm holding that wire so that it doesn't unspool. There is actually a cold feed button right here, so we're going to use the cold feed button to get that wire through the gun here. Alright, looks like we're ready to go. Let's put our settings at the lowest settings so we don't burn through. Again, we are welding some thin material, so this gauge is not even appropriate for what we're using it for. Alright guys, I don't even know how long it's been, at least 3 hours I'm guessing. This thing was a nightmare. Let me show you guys the final product. I think I'm pretty much done right now. We finished welding the whole circumference. Again, there's going to be minor air leaks all around the whole thing because that's just the name of the game. And then right here I had to weld a little chunk of extra metal that I had from a heat shield on the exhaust. I used that to kind of patch some holes up here. So I had a little rust spot here, but it wasn't leaking. But once I started welding this and all the metal stretched and constricted, the hole got bigger and there was a big air leak right here. And I'm testing for air leaks by using a hair dryer, putting it in here, spraying this with soapy water, and I can kind of gauge where the air leaks are coming from. But now we sealed that up, so majority of that airflow again should be going to that second chamber and out the muffler. So I'm gonna let this cool off a little bit, eat some breakfast, because it's been a hella day right now welding. It's not as easy as it seems, but this new welding wire, guys, the Yes Welder, highly recommended. You could definitely weld thinner material with this compared to the factory wire that was with the Harbor Freight's titanium flux core welder. Again, these are the same kind of wires, E71T GS. So They're both made in China, but the Yes welder wire, it doesn't arc as well from the initial start as the factory wire here, but it does run a lot better. I feel like it won't burn through as easily, and I don't think I would be able to do this with the factory wire. So I'm gonna let all this cool off, then we'll probably reinstall it on the car. And also, this is where I was welding everything here. Again, this piece was broken here. I just gotta run the wire wheel through it to make it look better, but that is also welded here. That's where it originally broke. Very ghetto. If you want to talk crap, go ahead, leave a comment down below. Again, ideally a real welder would do this much faster, much cleaner, but I like to do things myself. I like to learn through mistakes, and yeah, here we are this day and age. So be back to you guys soon when it's on the car. Alright, so this is how the car sounds with the open axle back exhaust. I'm gonna place you guys here so you can hear it. I'll give you guys a few revs. Alright, so we had a leak right here. We fixed the leak right here, but you guys can kind of hear the exhaust hissing out. Kind of sucks. It's not a huge exhaust leak, but it's farting all over the place. I'm just gonna rev it up for you guys so you can hear how everything sounds like. So that's gonna be a wrap for this video. I'm done messing with this. It does sound a little bit louder than factory, somewhat comparable to an SI muffler, but again, overall to me this is a total fail. I wasn't able to seal the muffler. We got minor leaks all over the place, and it's just a no-go. I'll rock it like this for now. Eventually, when things get out of hand or if it starts leaking too much, we still got this muffler, which we just have to weld together the end pipe, and this will be much better. Again, it's quiet, but oh well, what can you do? Anyway, that's a wrap, man. We'll put this back on. See you guys on the next video. Alright guys, it's been about 3 weeks since the last clip you saw when I finished welding up this muffler, and I was disappointed because there was air hissing out of it and I just wasn't happy. But 3 weeks later, I have this thing on the car. In the car, you cannot feel, you cannot hear any exhaust leaks. Maybe if you're just standing right next to the exhaust, you can hear a little exhaust leak hiss, but other than that, there's no exhaust leaks. But I tell you, the most important part is the performance gains. The car feels so good. It pulls all the way to red line. The torque curve is definitely increased, and I'm very happy with this modification. And the best part is, it looks like a perfectly factory muffler, which most people won't even be able to notice. And I hate those straight pipes when people put straight pipes on their vehicle, because you can clearly see the straight pipe on the car. And one of the biggest things is, once you remove the big oval muffler, you can see right through the straight pipe. You can see right through the lower control arms and everything. It just looks empty and like a hole where a void needs to be filled. So I highly recommend this way of making a straight pipe, of creating your own custom exhaust depending on what kind of sound you want, what kind of performance you want, but it retains the factory look. And I dig it, man. It might be a little harder. You might have to do more welding. Find a welder. Don't weld like me, guys. But overall, I'm super happy with it. I'm telling you, man, the car feels so much peppier. And it's insane how piping diameter, piping size, airflow travel can affect the feeling of a car tremendously, both for the intake side and for the exhaust side. Well guys, I'm done for this video. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Let me know, what do you guys think of this modification? Comment down below. Peace.
I ain't here for the money, I ain't here for the fame. Though it might be nice to own a jet plane, I'ma do it all for you. Come along and see it's true.